Assalamu alaikum, dear students of 11th class. Today, my video is on a interesting topic, that is elasticity of demand of chapter 2. So, to start the discussion on elasticity of demand, first I need to explain what do we mean by elasticity. The rate of responsiveness of dependent variable to the change of any independent variables considered in a function is called elasticity. So here function means, what do you understand? Function means the relationship between dependent and independent variables. So as we are studying it in chapter 2, that is in demand chapter, so here the function we will understand, that is demand function. So in demand function, so we see a dependent variable, that is quantity of demand, and independent variables that we consider in a demand function, that are like income of consumers, then price of the product, price of related goods, etc., etc. So we know that dependent variable actually change due to the change of independent variables. So what do we mean by elasticity? Elasticity means that the rate of responsiveness of dependent variable to the change of any independent variables considered in a function is called elasticity. So there are two kinds of elasticity that are discussed in economics: elasticity of demand and elasticity of supply. So today my discussion topic is elasticity of demand. So at first I discussed on what is elasticity. So elasticity is the measure of the ratio of the change in dependent variable due to the change in independent variable. So now I am discussing on elasticity of demand. So that elasticity of demand in economics refers to how sensitive or responsive the quantity demanded for any product to its price change or to other independent economic variables. That is elasticity of demand. So dependent variable is here quantity of demand, and that is influenced by other independent factors that are independent variables. So dependent variables, that is quantity demanded, changes due to the change of independent economic variables, that is other economic independent factors. So this elasticity of demand, that is how quantity of demand change due to the change in independent factors or independent economic variables. Depending on that, elasticity of demand is classified into three types. So let us see some independent factors that influences quantity of demand, that is own price of the product, price of related products. Related means here that is substitute or complementary goods. So price of substitute or complementary goods also influences the quantity of demand for any product. Then income of consumers, climate and weather, that also influences quantity of demand. Then advertisement, we know that successful advertisement increase our demand for any product. Then time also influences the quantity of demand. So in this way, quantity of demand is influenced by so many factors. So depending on that, demand elasticity is classified by three types. These are: number one, price elasticity of demand, that is denoted by EP; income elasticity of demand, that is denoted by EY. Here Y means income. Then three, cross elasticity of demand, that is EC. So what does it mean? Let us know one by one. At first, what is price elasticity of demand? Price elasticity refers to the ratio of the change in quantity demanded demanded and price of the product. That is, sometimes ago, here we have seen that quantity of demand here, that is quantity of demand depends on own price of product. So here the product price actually uh, influences that how much quantity we demand for any product. So it is a major factor. So depending on that, there is one type is price elasticity of demand. So what is price elasticity of demand? Then let us see. Price elasticity refers to the ratio of the change in quantity demanded and the price of that product. That is, if price of the product is higher, then we demand less of that product, and when price of the product is low, then we demand more of that product. And we have already learned it in the law of demand. So depending on that, the formula is EP, that is price elasticity of demand. The formula is percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in price. So that we understand that price elasticity of demand is the measure of percentage change in quantity demanded to the percentage change in price. That is the ratio we are measuring in the price elasticity of demand. So the formula we have got here, actually from this formula, step by step, finally we get this formula, that is a price elasticity equal to del Q by del P into P by Q. So what does it mean? Here del Q means change in quantity demanded for X product. Here del means delta. This is a Greek sign. It means change. So del Q means change in quantity demanded for X product. Suppose we are considering the product that is X. So del Q means change in the quantity demanded for X product, and del P means change in the price of X product. P means primary price and Q means primary quantity demanded. Primary price, primary quantity demanded, it means before the change take place in price, that is primary price, and before changing before change take place in price, there is previous quantity of demand, that is primary quantity of demand. Okay, so when price changes, quantity of demand changes. So a change we find, that is we will measure in del Q, and due to that the change we find in quantity demanded, that we measure in del Q. So in this way we find the measure of price elasticity of demand. So when we work out according to this formula, we find different result. So on the basis of that result, price elasticity of demand, we find 5 types. Number 1, elastic. That is, by work out the formula, sometimes we get the result is greater than 1. That means that is called elastic demand. That is, price elasticity of demand is greater than 1 means elastic demand. That means the change in quantity of demand is greater than the change in price. Then we find sometimes in formula the result is smaller than 1. That is, price elasticity of demand is smaller than 1 means inelastic demand. That means the change in quantity demand is smaller than the change in price. Then unit elasticity, that is price elasticity equal to 1. That means the change is equal. That is, the change in quantity demand, if 1%, then the change in price also 1%. So that result we get 1. that is called unit elasticity. Then perfectly elastic, that is EP equal to infinity. What does it mean? It means the due to very insignificant change in price, there is infinite amount of change in quantity of demand. That time that price elasticity of demand is called perfectly elastic. Then sometimes in the formula we find the result price elasticity equals to 0. That means perfectly inelastic. That means quantity of demand does not respond totally to the price change. That means there is no change in quantity demand due to the change in price. So very shortly I describe these 5 types because you will get another video on price elasticity of demand only to discuss on these 5 types with diagram. So sometimes ago I told that demand elasticity is classified by 3 types: price elasticity of demand, income elasticity, cross elasticity. The price elasticity of demand I have discussed just now, and now I will discuss on income elasticity and cross elasticity. Let us go there. So we have come on income elasticity of demand. So in the price elasticity of demand, we have seen that independent variable was price of the product. And here when we uh, see income elasticity of demand, here the independent factor is consumers income. That is, consumers quantity of demand changes depending on the change on income of consumers. That is, income of consumers influences a lot on quantity demanded for the product of consumers. Like other factors being unchanged, here other factors means other independent factors. So other independent factors being unchanged, the ratio of percentage change in quantity demanded due to the percentage change in money income is called income elasticity of demand. So the formula we get, that is like that. EY means income elasticity of demand. Here Y, income is denoted by Y. So income elasticity equal to percentage change in quantity demanded due to the percentage change in income. So percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in income, this is the formula. Because we know that if our income rises, we demand more. And when our income falls, we demand less. So how is the change? What is the percentage change? That measurement we will get in income elasticity of demand. So from that formula, gradually we find this formula step by step. That is, income elasticity equal to del Q by del Y into Y by Q. So when we find that price elasticity of demand, there you see that in place of Y, there was P, price, because their independent variable was price, but now the independent variable is income. That's why instead of P, there is Y in the formula. So here del Qx means change in quantity demanded for X product, and del Y means change in income of consumers. Y equal to primary income, Q equal to primary quantity demanded. So primary income means before the change in income takes place, that income is primary income. And before the change in income takes place, the quantity demanded there was, that is previous quantity demanded, is called primary quantity demanded. And del Qx, that is after change in income, what change uh, takes place in quantity of demand, that is change in quantity demanded del Qx. And for del Y, we measure that how much change there is in income, that we will measure in del Y. So in this way, by this formula, we find income elasticity of demand. So income elasticity of for demand, elasticity of demand, for this formula, also we get two types of result, sometimes positive and sometimes negative. So what does it mean? Let us see. So income elasticity positive result means the product is normal goods. That means when our income rises, we demand more of the goods, and when our income falls, we demand less for the products. So this type of product is normal goods. And when we find negative result, that means actually that product is inferior good, because two variables are going to opposite side. Because when our income rises, we demand less inferior goods, and when our income falls, then we demand for more inferior goods, because when our income falls, we cannot afford to buy good things. And when our income rises, that time we can buy more good things. So with inferior goods, there is negative relationship with income, because when our income rises, we buy less inferior good, and when our income falls, then we buy more inferior goods. That means two variable, that is quantity of demand and our income. These two are going opposite side for inferior goods. So when we get income elasticity result minus, that is negative result, that means we will understand the good is inferior good. And when we get positive results, that means the good is normal good. Now let us go to the cross elasticity of demand. What is cross elasticity of demand? Um, we have seen that some factors influences consumers quantity of demand. That factors are called independent factors, and one independent factor was the price of related goods. And what are those related goods? They are complementary or substitute. So what is cross elasticity of demand? In case of relative products, other factors being unchanged, the ratio of percentage change in quantity demanded for any product due to the percentage change in the price of relative products is called cross elasticity of demand. So if we think that X and Y, two products where the relation between X and Y are either complementary or substitute. So if there is change in price of one product, we will say there is change in quantity demand for another product. So the formula we find is like that. That is percentage change in price of Y product, and here percentage change in quantity demanded for X product. That is, you see, the quantity demanded for X product changes due to the percentage change in price of Y product. Okay, so the relation between X and Y product we can find out in cross elasticity of demand. So from the result of this formula, we will find out how the X and Y are related to each other. Are they complementary goods, or they are substitute goods, or there's no relation between them? So from this formula, step by step, we get this formula, that is cross elasticity of demand equal to del Qx by del Py into Py by Qx. That means here you see quantity of X del Qx, and here also quantity of X, but price of not X product, price of Y product. Change in the price of Y and primary price of Y. Change in the quantity of X and primary quantity of X. So what does it mean? Del Qx equal to change in quantity demanded for X product. X is what? Considered product. And change in the price of Y product, where Y can be substitute or complementary. PY means primary price of Y product, that is before price change take place, the price of Y is primary price, and primary quantity demanded for X product is before the price change take place for Y product. What was the quantity of demand for X product is the primary quantity demanded for X product. And del Py, that is change in the price of this Y product, and del Qx is due to the change in the price of Y product, what is the change in the quantity demanded for X product. So here also, like income elasticity of demand, uh, by working out formula of cross elasticity of demand, sometimes we find positive result, sometimes negative result, and sometimes zero result. So when we find positive result, that means two goods X and Y are substitute, because in that case we find the two variable X and Y are going to the same direction, so that we get positive result. Like example, tea and coffee. If suppose tea is X product and coffee is Y product, so if the and tea and coffee both refreshes us, so if the price of coffee increases, then demand of tea also increases, because when coffee price increases, people will buy less coffee and they will demand more tea. So increase of coffee price increase the demand of tea. So both are increasing, and for that reason we get positive result. So when we find positive result, we will understand that X and Y are substitute goods. So sometimes cross elasticity of demand we find negative result. When we find negative result, we will understand two goods X and Y are complementary. How? Let us see the example. Suppose whiteboard and marker. Whiteboard and marker. If whiteboard is X and marker is Y, then if marker's price increase a lot, then the use of whiteboard will be less, because if markers price increases, then for whiteboard we need marker. So if markers price increases, we will use less whiteboard. Maybe we will again go back to the blackboard and chalk. So in this way we can see that both whiteboard and marker, their that is result, they are going to the same direction, that is markers price increases, they are going opposite direction, that is when markers price increases, we are using less whiteboard, because actually they are in joint demand, we need both. mm, So when marker price increases, we buy less of whiteboard. That is when product's price increases, another product's demand decreases. That means they are going opposite side, and so that we get negative result. So when we get negative result, we will understand that X and Y product are complementary products, and when we get positive result, then we will understand that X and Y are substitute products. So these are all about to just to make you acquainted with elasticity of demand, that there are three types of elasticity of demand: price elasticity of demand, income elasticity of demand, and cross elasticity of demand. So these three types I have discussed today. Hope it will help you. So thank you very much today. See you in the next video with price elasticity of demand and its 5 types. Okay, thank you very much.